Okay, let's dive right into this explainer and play tech detective for a bit. We're tackling a highly specific but oh so frustrating issue, the DS4Windows connectivity breakdown. You know the drill. You plug in your controller, boot up the app, and literally nothing happens. You swap cables, check Bluetooth, reinstall drivers, and it still just flat out refuses to talk to your PC. Well, today we're popping the hood on Windows itself to find the hidden culprit, and I'm going to walk you through exactly how to diagnose and fix it using the system's own logs and a couple of simple command lines.
Here is our step-by-step roadmap for today. We'll start with the communication breakdown, figure out how to find the error logs, read those clues, reset the WMI repository, and then look at the absolute final repair step. All right, part 1, the communication breakdown.
To fix this glitch, we really need to understand the built-in Windows tool that's silently failing in the background. Because, it's super easy to blame DS4Windows when things go wrong, but a lot of times the app is totally fine. It's the underlying Windows infrastructure that's completely collapsed. See, DS4Windows relies on a built-in tool called WMI, or Windows Management Instrumentation. Think of WMI as a crucial walkie-talkie. The app uses this walkie-talkie to speak to your PC's hardware and listen for your controller's inputs. When WMI gets corrupted, that walkie-talkie just breaks. DS4Windows is essentially shouting into the void. So no amount of restarting the app is going to fix a broken radio, right? We have to fix the radio itself.
Which brings us to part 2, finding the error logs.
Now that we know what the walkie-talkie is, we need to actually track down the evidence of its failure. We can't just guess it's broken, we need proof. Luckily, Windows programs are actually pretty great at leaving a trail of breadcrumbs for us. This is where we put on our detective hats and find the diary that recorded the exact moment things went south. DS4Windows meticulously logs its activity in a file simply called log.txt. Every startup, every connection attempt, and crucially, every single failure gets written down. This file is literally our master key to figuring this out.
Now, where is this master key? Well, you look in one of two places, depending entirely on how you initially set the program up. If you went with a portable setup, that log.txt file is going to be sitting right there in your main folder, maybe in your documents or wherever you extracted it. But if you use the default settings, it's kind of hidden away in your app data folder. To get there, just press the Windows key plus R, type %, appdata %, and hit Enter. Open the DS4Windows folder in there, and boom, your log file is waiting for you.
A quick heads up though, if you're like me and you've moved your installation around in the past, you might actually find a diary in both spots. If that happens, make sure you check the properties and open the one with the most recent timestamp. We want the fresh clues from your latest crash, not some random log from 6 months ago.
Let's move on to part 3, reading the clues.
Okay, let's open that file in Notepad and sift through the jargon to find our smoking gun. A healthy log file is honestly pretty boring, just standard timestamp notes about detecting gamepads. But a broken log? It'll be riddled with red flags. You can just hit Control-F and search for words like error, warning, or failed. Those are the neon signs pointing right at our problem. What you're really looking for is this exact phrase, winmgmt failed. If you see this specific string of text nestled in your log file, well, congratulations, you found the culprit. winmgmt is the executable service for that walkie-talkie we talked about earlier. When it fails, DS4Windows is just completely dead in the water. You might also spot a variation that says Windows Management Interface not found. This is just another smoking gun confirming a core Windows tool is busted. It basically means the app reached out for the walkie-talkie and the system was like, walkie-talkie? Never heard of it. It is your textbook WMI corruption error.
All right, part 4, resetting the WMI repository.
Since we've identified the culprit with absolute certainty, it's time to run a command line fix to safely reset the system. We are going to rebuild that walkie-talkie. To do this, we need to open the command prompt. Now I know that black screen with white text looks a little intimidating, like you're suddenly hacking the mainframe, but I promise, these steps are completely safe and reversible. Just hit Windows key plus R, type CMD, and hit Enter. First things first, we have to turn off the broken service before we can actually fix it. So carefully type this exact command, netstop winmgt, all lowercase, spaces between the words, and then hit Enter. This reaches into Windows and stops the broken service dead in its tracks.
Now the system might pop up and ask for confirmation, warning you that some other services could be affected. Don't sweat it, this is totally temporary. Just type the letter Y for yes and hit Enter to authorize it. We just got to clear the board before we can reset it. Next up,
Input this precise command, winmanagement/reset repository. That is all one word after the slash. Then press enter. This right here is the magic bullet. It tells Windows to completely trash the corrupted database and build a fresh, clean, working repository from scratch. The terminal should quickly spit back a message confirming the reset was successful. Once you see that, you're pretty much done. Just close the prompt and restart your computer. That reboot is absolutely crucial because it lets Windows load up the freshly built repository, giving DS4 Windows the clean slate it needs to finally connect.
And lastly, part 5, the final repair step.
So, what happens if you do all of that perfectly, reboot the PC, and the walkie-talkie is still dead? What if the logs still say Win Management failed? Well, in some rare cases, the system corruption is just too deep for a simple command prompt fix. If the underlying Windows files that actually govern WMI are missing or heavily damaged, a reset won't have the raw materials to rebuild anything. If that happens, we have to look at the absolute last resort.
This is the nuclear option, for sure, but it is highly effective. You'll need to grab official Windows installation media, like putting the setup files on a USB drive or a DVD. By booting from this, you can choose to repair your Windows installation. Essentially, this systematically checks and replaces broken core OS files without touching your personal data, files, or games. It's like a deep tissue massage for your operating system, fixing the fundamental elements that DS4 Windows relies on.
And there you have it. You now have the exact blueprint to bypass all that generic troubleshooting, read the actual raw data, and apply a surgical fix. So, the next time your controller mysteriously drops connection, will you know how to read the diary and fix that broken walkie-talkie? Don't let a corrupted WMI repository keep you from gaming. Dive into those logs and take back control.